I am still in disbelief that we're about to be having this conversation, especially coming from my perspective in how I've experienced Thalapathy throughout my entire life. It's a very much a mixed emotion. One side of me understands the inevitable within the context of a greater purpose, but the other side of me, the pure fanboy, is very much sad. Like, I don't mean to get dramatic here. I've been gathering my emotions throughout these days. That's why it's been a while to get this video out. There is a multitude of lenses in which you can look at this situation. As a fan of cinema, as a fan of Thalapathy, as a fan of the individual Thalapathy Vijay. So there's multiple ways to view this. But ultimately, Thalapathy quitting films after the next two and fully committing himself into politics. So that is the current situation. And there's been lots of added details that's been coming through other sources, but right now, straight from Thalapathy, these are the facts, and this is the current situation, and that's what we are dealing with. There's two ways of looking at this, and this is the way I'm coping with this. One is admiring the bravery that requires to walk away from cinema when you are the undisputed king of Hollywood, the GOAT, the king, the legend, the greatest, you already know. And it feels like we've just attained another level of superpower, right? We just tested pre-Ultra Instinct, right? We haven't even got to the potential yet. With Leo crossing 600 crores, we're just tapping in. We were just testing the waters. As fans, we want Thalapathy to be celebrated on a global level, and it was right there. It was happening. It was in motion. Looking at all of that and making a choice, making a decision that is above himself to serve the people who has put him in the position that he is, being the GOAT, being the king of Hollywood. That is admirable. And the other point of view, the potential. The potential that was just right there. With Leo was light work 600 crores. We were reaching with nobody's help, just Thalapathy alone with a great filmmaker. There was so much more to achieve in the world of cinema. So much more greatness to achieve in the world of cinema. Thalapathy is in his prime. Prime. But I have to believe in Thalapathy. I have to believe in the choice he has made. And at first, it was tough to even process it. Then the next couple of hours, I understood it. And the next day, I didn't. The day after, I did. And the next day, I didn't. It's going to be a cycle. It's going to be a cycle. It is what it is. The idea of there will be no more Thalapathy films after Thalapathy69 is insane. And there is a chance, maybe in the next 10 years, he may come back, right? He might get elected. He might go far. He might spend the next decade, serving the people. Of course, he can still serve the people without entering politics. But he's not only trying to serve the people, he's trying to make a change. He wants to make a difference. He doesn't want to just go in there and come out. He doesn't want to just give out things and help people for that moment. He wants to help generations to come. He wants to serve his nation. He wants to walk in there and leave it at a better place. It's a much larger and a harder and ambitious prospect. So in that perspective, how can I sit here and be like, no, you shouldn't go. All right, Thala, it's a wrong decision, it's a wrong choice. No way. It's full of corruption. These people don't deserve you. And there's some truth in that, Will the people actually see what Thalapathy is trying to accomplish here? Or will they be easily manipulated by the other groups? Because I'm certain, as you and I, we all are certain that so many of these groups are gathering around and trying to find points and notes to how to take Thalapathy down. They've been doing that for his film releases. All right. They've been afraid of Thalapathy for a decade now. They're scared of him. Right? They've been plotting forever with each individual film. So now he's directly stepping in. He's here. It's going to be crazy. You're going to be hearing some wild stuff. Even before entering politics, the way Thalapathy smiles, the way he walks, the way he blinks, everything is analyzed. Everything is debated. Now, they feel like they have the right even far beyond because now it's directly impacting them. Right? Like that is going to be the point of view in which all of them will come. And fair, that's the game, right? That's part of it. You have to play the game to even do something greater. To do even something good, you got to play the game. You got to play the system. The only way to make real change, a real difference is within that system. You can try to broom things up outside of the system, but it don't matter in the long term. Thalapathy wants to make a long-term difference. And this was the path. And it was a matter of time. It always been. Whoever has been following Thalapathy knows that this was inevitable. This was happening. It was only a matter of time. But as a fan, I hoped it was still at least as in minimum 5 years away, 5 more years away, or I was hoping, genuinely hoping it was 10 years away. Because Thalapathy is 49, he's very young, right? At 60, Thalapathy is going to be still young. He's going to be one of the youngest 60-year-olds we'll ever see. So that would have been great. That would have been understandable. But I was just thinking today, the reason why he may want to go young, so that when he will eventually have to leave, because of course, he can't stay there for the rest of his life. I think Thalapathy wants to give himself a chance. If ever he won't be able to go as far as he wishes or the people wants him to, he can still come back and still be closer to his prime rather than completely obsolete. And I think maybe that is his thinking. Maybe he feels he's ready. I've hit my peak. If I want to do it, I got to do it right now. This is the time where I can face everything. I can answer all the questions because Thalapathy is going to be answering a lot of questions. I think he's ready. I think he feels like he has a fire within him that this is my time to go all out. And however he comes out of it, I think he will still be young enough for that specific age in which he may return. He can still come back to cinema and still deliver greatness, right? So like Arnold was a governor for a while, right? And he didn't make any movies, but then he eventually came back. I think Thalapathy can do the same and ultimately live up to the promise that he has made. Everybody's been waiting, especially in Tamil Nadu. I think their reaction is much different. Of course, some of them, maybe most of them, are sad that they won't be able to experience Thalapathy on the biggest screen possible. The best way to experience the GOAT, right? But they know whatever decision, whatever choices Thalapathy is going to make is to serve them directly. So I think there's a different emotional prospect to all of that. I think he wants to go out serving the people. And he genuinely wants to do that. I think he's been plotting this. He's been planning this step by step, educating himself. I think this is what he's been doing for maybe more than a decade. And there's been a lot of videos been resurfacing from his past where he spoke about that prospect, that it will happen eventually. It's been funny and sad to see everybody's reaction. And to also see, how Thalapathy has impacted people all over the world. So everybody's coming from different point of views, right? Me, I grew up watching Thalapathy in Canada, right? Of course, I grew up in the Tamil culture, but I'm not Indian, right? Of course, well, I do have Indian heritage. My dad, my grandpa is Indian and stuff. So of course, I got some Indian blood in me, but I was actually born in Sri Lanka and grew up in Canada. So there's a clear difference, the perspective in which I'm coming from and the experience I have with Thalapathy. So I'm trying to look at this through Thalapathy's point of view and also trying to see through the Tamil audience in Tamil Nadu's position. How are they receiving this? So I got to be able to cope and understand that. And that's where I'm at. It is sad. If I had a choice, which one would I choose? That's a question a lot of my friends have been asking as well. Because everybody's been completely against it here. I haven't heard a single person in Canada around my air even been somewhat supportive about this decision and choice. And I've been the only one who was like, listen, I gotta have faith in Thalapathy. I gotta believe in his choice, in his decision. And the question always comes, all right, if you had a choice, you know, if he came to you and is like, I'm gonna either keep making movies or I'm gonna enter politics, which one will you choose? And my answer is basically, I cannot let, with my right conscious mind, I cannot stop somebody who wants to do something much greater, is going to impact people's individual lives for years, for decades, for generations to come, potentially, for my own selfish desire and needs. I just couldn't. I couldn't be like, yeah, Talabadi, it's a bad decision. It's a bad move. I hate the fact that you're leaving. How can you walk away from cinema? Listen, cinema for me is my DNA, right? Cinema is my faith. It's my religion, right? It's what I believe in. It's what defines me. One of my gods of cinema is making a choice to walk away. I have to trust him. I have to support him. I have to walk with him. I have no choice. That's how much I love and respect Thalapathy. I cannot sit here and tell you guys and tell my friends, be like, I hate it. I can't do it. It sucks. I hate talking about it. I hate be like, oh, who's going to direct Thalapathy's last movie? Me and my friends would be having the discussions about who's the best director? What would be the best choice? What direction? Like, should he make a film for cinema? Should he make a film for the fans? Right? Like, it's insane to even think about. Like, I can't, I still haven't been able to process that. Like, imagine, especially even with Goat, imagine that when the credits starts rolling in Goat and you're like, oh my God, and one more, it's done. And Thalapathy69 hits. First day, first show. That movie may even run all year, all right? Everybody who's even heard of the name Thalapathy is going to go watch that film. It's going to be an event. Whoever's going to direct Thalapathy69 gotta deliver. And it's going to be a lot of pressure, but man, that's an undertaking for sure. But imagine Thalapathy69 credit roll. Nobody's leaving the theaters. Nobody. How can you? It's going to be insane. Oh my God, bro. It's crazy. So yes, this is the truth, right? It's insane. I cannot process it. I still haven't. I'm just learning how to cope with it, right? I'm just trying to understand it, be mature about it, be practical about it, and less emotional about it. Because once I get emotional, it's gonna be dramatic as fuck. And listen, and this whole thing is probably dramatic, but it is what it is, bro. It's Thalapathy, it's the goat, it's the king, the legend, the creators. You already know, man. This dude, the joy he brings every single year, with the movie announcement to the first look poster, the title reveal to the teaser, first day, first show. It's an event every year. Every year. Whether the film is good or bad, that excitement to go experience the Thalapathy film first day, first show never wavers. It's always an exciting prospect. And after Goat and Thalapathy69, it's done. At least for a very, very, very long while, it's going to be done. And potentially never again. That is a tough pill to swallow, especially for us fans, man. The cinema is it, right? It's a way of life for me, and Talabadi has been part of that as well. And him walking away from that, as much as it hurts, that bravery is an inspiration. Be like, man, this dude is unreal. Thalapathy69 credit roll. That train, when that hits us, that's when we're gonna truly feel. That's gonna be a lot of tears in theaters, man. That is the impact this man has. It is what it is. Call it whatever you want, right? Call it whatever you want. That is the impact of the art of cinema and the art of Thalapathy as the actor. The joy, the immersion, the experience that he's given us for decades, for many of us growing up. That is the impact, and is going to be felt. I'm just free flowing here, just putting it out there, because there's no real clear structure in which I can approach this topic. But everybody's been asking my thoughts on this, And this is the best way I could be clear about it, how I feel in many angles, in many perspectives. And this is where I stand. And the final verdict is I'll be okay. I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay, bruh. This is Thalapathy. This is his choice. This is his destiny. He believes in it. We gotta believe in it as well. We gotta walk with him. No doubt in my mind, right? All the way. Do or die. You already know. The king, the legend, the greatest, the king of Hollywood, the GOAT. Let me know how y'all feel, man. Let me know how y'all feel. I'm sure even for y'all, it's gonna be crazy too. Because some days y'all be okay with it. Y'all understand it was an inevitable prospect, and some of y'all might wake up the next day and be like, "Nah, bro, I hate this." I'm sure you guys are going back and forth as well. So let me know how y'all been feeling. How conflicting a lot of these feelings are. But hey, we there for Thalapathy no matter what. So there's that. See y'all on my next one. Salute.